before, but now, you know, we were offered kindergarten money for that fight. Now we've got proper money to make that fight. So that's a fight that can definitely happen. Oh no. Hi mate, you alright? Good to see you.
Yeah. Jump in it, dog.
Never thought I'd see this.
I'm a bit scared.
So, yeah, obviously, I'm guessing you've heard this man's views on you before. I'm guessing they've changed now a little bit.
Well, at the end of the day, it's a parent thing. Are you a parent?
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
Well,
it's hard to think about that. Yeah, I am.
Well,
yeah.
how old is he?
Two girls,
well,
9 and 6.
Well,
yeah.
when they get to a certain age, then you understand what I was on about. A little bit upset at the time, but water under the bridge.
Absolutely. Listen, we're on the same team now. Our job is to do the best job for Billy, which we will do, and I'm excited because I want to see. I think one thing Billy is sometimes he does make mistakes, but he's got a very good head on his shoulders about boxing and about his career, and he's very honest. He says he wants to find out how good he is. So, and I do as well, because I just think that he's got that kind of knack. And a lot of the questions today have been, oh, are you going to speak to him about, you know, some of the things he does on social media? I'm saying, I think he's learnt his lesson from that. But one thing I will say is, don't take that rawness away from him, because that rawness and that edge gives him that something different in fights, where he doesn't give a monkey's. He will fight anybody because he believes he can beat him. And if you take that rawness away from him, you know, it's a little bit like Tyson Fury in that respect. That sort of little bit of craziness can sometimes beat a fighter before they've even got into the ring. I think he did it against Lemieux. I mean, he schooled Lemieux so bad, but I think a lot of the job was done in a build-up to that fight.
See, what a lot of people don't know about sort of Billy Joe, and you asked Eric Guy, because he, I mean, you know, me and him's known one another for years, so we're on the amateur scene. Joe's never, ever been no different, from a baby to crawling till now. If I told him, as a boy, a 3-4-year-old, don't touch the TV, Bill, he'll look at me and he'll walk to the TV, and he's got to touch that TV.
Sounds like my kids.
He's never ever been no different. But what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff, what he's done in the past year, you know, as a parent, I'll tell him the truth, good, from like, you know, bad sort of thing. And if he boxes well, I'll tell him he's boxed well. If he's boxed bad, I'll tell him he's boxed bad. And he looks to me to do that, because I'm his father, obviously. But a lot of the stuff he does, and he has done, stupid, where he's been a bit bored, but that is Billy Joe.
But what you said there, I think it's important. That's what I said to people in interviews. It is the boredom. It's just sitting around. It's not knowing what you're doing, where you lose that little bit of focus. When you've got a strategy and a plan, and you know, I've got these big fights in front of me, he ain't going to muck around. When he's fighting people he knows he don't even have to get up for, that's when there's a problem. When he's fighting top world-class fighters for a lot of money, and it's legacy-defining, career-defining fights, he ain't going to muck around. But one thing I will say, and I'm not just saying it because you're here, is he's a good person with a good heart. So this is what I say to people, and, you know, oh, he's done this. I said, I know that he's a good person. I say he's a wind-up merchant. Sometimes he does things that are a bit silly, but he's boxing through and through, and he's a family man with a good heart. So you have to almost embrace that and like that about Billy Joe. But I think now he's got a plan and a strategy where, you know, and I think he's grown up as well. And I think that happens to everybody. So I don't think at 26, 27, you really know what you're doing. It's only when you start having kids and they get older and you get to 29, 30, you think. But sometimes people do it too late. We've had fighters that have got to 30, 31 and gone, oh, you know what? I've really got to get my act together now. It's too late to do that then. He's lucky enough that he's in his prime and he's got his head screwed on. So, and I think we got him at the perfect time.
Well, Billy Joe's got a very, very good boxing brain on him. And my oldest boy, Tom. I mean, they can read fights. They can switch, especially Joe can switch tactics in a fight, because he's reading the fight all the time, every round. He's not just training how you get some fighters, good fighters, training to a certain game plan. When they get in there, that game plan's not going right, but they still sticking to it. He can just switch, and none of us have seen the best of Billy Joe Saunders.
I agree with that. I can't wait to see it.
And that's 100%. No one's seen the best yet. The best I've seen in box is in Canada, right? He was switched on.
I watched that fight, and you never know what you're going to get with Billy Joe in the past. And when he went to that fight, I thought, do you know what? I'm not sure he wins that fight. It's in Canada. Lemieux's a big puncher. I woke up in the middle of the night and I watched the whole thing, and I couldn't believe what I saw, which was just one of the great one-sided performances in for a away fighter that I've ever seen.
And his opponent was a
Good fighter,
top fighter. He was supposed to go on after that fight. Joe was supposed to be a stepping stone for him, go on to big and better things. But Billy Joe come back from there and it went stale again. And this is what I think Joe won't get from Matchroom. Joe's excited about it, right? Well, Joe now, to be honest with you, when he first turned professional, he's got that. Since he's signed with Matchroom, he's got that.
Yeah.
Just ain't there again, you know.
But we still got to deliver. But one thing we will 100% deliver on is honesty, dates, money, timing, plans, strategies, because every fighter's got to be motivated. Whenever a fighter doesn't have a date, that's the hardest thing. So we've probably got a week window here where Bill don't have a date and then he'll have one. But he's got to stay switched on because every fighter needs a date. Doesn't matter how committed they are, they can't train like they need to train until they actually know the date when they're fighting.
The better fighter Joe fights, the better you see Joe perform. He switches on. But plus, since he had that first sort of conversation with you or whoever to sort of change promoters, he was speaking about like, you know, his game plan. It's all like sort of mapped out. Dates. Well, not so much dates, but you know.
Dates as well.
And it sounded all positive, and it is positive. And but it was positive to him. He looked at it. He said, "Dad, look, you know, you got blah 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 blah." Right, and I think Matchroom and Sky Sports and that, I think it's a good move for him.
Appreciate
Good
that.
move.
We won't let you down.
Thank you very
Cheers,
much,
mate.
Mr. Hank.
Bill, just got a 1-4.